The Dallas Stars just got way more dangerous. Coming off an insane performance from Jason Robertson, the entire team has been on a heater thanks to Mikko Rantanen, Wyatt Johnston, and even a huge injury update for Dallas that makes the next stretch of games even more terrifying for the rest of the NHL. We have to dive into the most recent Dallas Stars updates, the insane performances that they've had recently, and why they are a danger to the rest of the NHL as they've always been to make a serious run. And we're going to start here, Mark, with just looking at the standings. I mean, as of the recording in this video, the Dallas Stars are second in the Central, only 2 points behind the Colorado Avalanche, right up there with the top teams in the entire NHL, 12-4-3. 5-game win streak is the big story here. There are so many names we can go after, Mark, but I know looking at the performance against Philly, there's one name that stands out amongst the rest, and that is Jason Robertson. Natural hat trick, 6 goals, 9 points the last 3 games, a couple of beauties. I don't have all 3 here, but look at that insane snipe. This is the hat trick goal here, Mark. What have you seen from Jason Robertson, who has legit been one of the best players by pretty much every metric over the last little stretch here?
I think the biggest thing is we're seeing Jason Robertson continue to develop into a star player, a superstar around the NHL, the elite goal scorer. And you can see the offensive rating, top 5 in the NHL, and I believe the best in the month of November. Jason Robertson is here and showing people why he deserves a huge contract and why he's a major part for this Dallas Stars team. We see in the natural hat trick, we see the 23 points in 19 games. Everything Jason Robertson does at 26, a lot of people still haven't hit their peak at this age, what the Dallas Stars are building with their players. We're going to break down so much, but Jason Robertson and Mikko Rantanen have been huge parts on the wing for this team, and I cannot see this team slowing down, especially with how hot this guy has been.
100%. And, Jason Robertson, we've seen a lot of talk about him, right? The goal scoring was, still decent to start the year, but the shooting percentage was way down compared to his career average. I think at one point he was at, 4 or 5%, really low. And this kind of bounce back that we've seen here, 6 goals in the last 3 games, this is him getting back to the mean. This is what we expect from Robertson, right? We knew he was due to bounce back from that low shooting percentage. Now up to 9 goals in 19 games. That is very close to a 40-goal pace. And look, if things keep going this way, he could very well get up there. But you're so right. The Dallas Stars really have 2 first lines here. I mean, they've been mixing with some stuff. And again, there's been some injuries this year. We're going to get to one big injury update later. Well, I guess a couple. One is more positive than the other. But looking at these lines, right, it has been clicking on every level. And Rantanen, again, is another guy who has been absolutely insane for this team. And we're going to get into even more guys, but the top end scoring for Dallas and the fact that it's just getting better in a way, like a 5-game win streak, including a 7-0 thrashing of the Montreal Canadiens. A lot of these guys are performing exactly at the level you would want them to, right? Even like Sam Steele, only 7 points in 19 games. He's been getting some reps up the lineup. The line of Robertson, Hintz, and Sagan. The Finns are taking over with Hintz and Rantanen and Heiskanen. Right now, Mark, I don't even want to say depth scoring because, yeah, there is some of that. But, the top-end scoring, look at how many point-per-game players there are. Rantanen, Robertson, Wyatt Johnston, Rope, Hintz, right? You got so many guys who are putting up so many points when they need to. Not to mention the defense and goaltending has also been great. I think Rantanen and Robertson are at the key of all of this, at least in my opinion.
And I think that's the biggest thing. If you bring up the lines again, yes, the depth doesn't look outstanding, but Dallas fans know what these guys bring. And this is the team that is dealing with injuries. We're going to touch on 2 in particular, but the team is missing players. And the biggest thing is you're going to get these guys back. Jamie Benn will eventually return. Matt Duchene, we have an update on. There's so many guys, but going into the depth on this team, the farther you get into the season, these guys are going to step up. You know the top guys are doing it. Mikko Rantanen and Robertson. I see a lot of Colorado fans say Rantanen isn't him, but this is completely wrong. Look at the stats. Look what he's done. This is a team that has the Finns. They're stepping up. They still can make moves. They still have players coming back. Josh, I don't know how this team slows down. I keep saying that. But with all the personnel they have within the roster, the goaltending, the defensemen, the depth, the top-end talent, this is a team that's going to make a lot of fans love them even more, and a lot of other teams are going to be terrified of what they're truly building.
I mean, it's a team where you almost can't afford to ever slack on defense, right? And again, it's the consistent pressure that Dallas provides. But, we've talked about the wing scoring, and I think Stars fans watching this video have been like, well, why haven't you focused on Wyatt Johnston yet? It's because we're saving it, right? Look, we talked about the wings, but Wyatt Johnston down the middle, 22 years of age, that contract that he signed right after Rantanen signed that extension in Dallas after that trade deadline craziness last year. This guy, again, he's the heart of all the goal scoring here. Yeah, there's been a lot of goal scoring, but Mark, 8 power play goals for Wyatt Johnston this year out of his 11. he has been so insane on that top line or wherever he is playing, and he is really, really elevating the Stars to another level. And it's what you want, again, from your young players who are coming in, and they prove themselves. You're 1 of 5 of an $8.4 million per year contract, already playing like a $10 million player. I don't think it's crazy to say that. Like, it would be crazy to not say that. The guy is right up there, over a point per game, 11 goals in how many games? 19. The guy's on over a 40-goal pace. We saw this trajectory from like a year or two ago, but the fact that the Stars have him locked up at 8.4, I know we're seeing a lot of contracts that could age very well with the cap rising, but I mean, I'm hard-pressed, Mark, to find many contracts that are looking to age better than Wyatt Johnston's.
And I think that's the biggest thing. You're looking at the age as well. He's doing this at a younger age than most players on this roster. He's going to go out and continue to dominate with the cap world continuously going up, almost 10 million a year, season after season. This is a team that's going to not only get better, but be able to add more talent to the roster. You have some coming off the books in Tyler Seguin as well eventually. So you're looking at a team that almost feels like they're in their peak. They still have a lot of guys. Wyatt Johnston's not even close to his peak. But with all this talent getting better and better, Josh, with the cap roll rising, with them getting off some contracts like Tyler Seguin, and that's not hating on Tyler Seguin, but you can bring him in for cheaper after the deal. This is a team that's going to continuously build season after season, and it would not shock me, and listen, call me crazy, if this team becomes a team that can win back-to-back or 3 Stanley Cups in a small window with what they're doing right now.
Yeah, like, again, there's not many teams that would have, like, or across the NHL that I would say are built better than Dallas. And again, that's without even considering a lot of these injuries, right? And look, there's so much production here left in the press box. Now, Thomas Harley, the injury is recent, and we'll talk about that. Again, he is week to week with a lower body injury, but again, that's why you have some defensive depth. You know, Esa Lindell, he's always going to be able to hold it down a bit. Now, you know, below that, it's maybe a bit more questionable, but even Petrovic's had some good time. The Labushkin's solid. Capobianco and Bischel, like, solid. Heiskanen again, and Lindell are going to have to hold down the fort, but the goaltending tandem of Ottinger and even DeSmith hasn't been horrible. Is hopefully good. But again, Mark, we talk about some production that's still not even back, and the Stars are doing some great things. It's Matt Duchene. He's joining the team for practice today, as of the recording of this video, November 16th. Matt Duchene is back at practice, and this is a guy, Mark, that could, look, I'm not expecting him to come out and be like a 100-point player or anything, but he's a guy that has outperformed his contracts. I think it's safe to say over the past number of years. The skill is insane, and we'll go through the highlights. You'll see his insane spin pass at the end that a lot of people were talking about before he got, he went out injured. But Matt Duchene coming back and adding to this lineup, people wrote Matt Duchene off, I think, a couple of years ago, but his resurgence with Dallas has been incredible. That first contract he signed, and even this one, I would say he's going to outplay that $4.5 million value. I'm really excited to see what even he can bring to this already star-studded lineup.
Because I think that's the biggest thing. You look at the middle six, Matt Duchene can join straight on that third line and be one of the top third line centers in the entire NHL to join this team, be an offensive piece, and he can still help out on every end. Now, listen, he's not going to be the best defensive player, but you still get offensive output to fill out even more of this lineup. Listen, Hurley going down sucks. One of my favorite defensemen and one of the most underrated. Maybe he's perfectly rated at this point. Listen, Team Canada's going to love having a guy like this on it, but I think this is a team that's going to start getting players back. Matt Duchene will join this team. Jamie Benn will eventually be back. Thomas Harley's back in a couple of weeks, but Josh, once this team gets healthy, going into game one of the playoffs, once again, it's going to be terrifying, and I'm excited to see how they continue to impress everyone and progress throughout the season.
Yeah, it's a team that's going to be fun to watch, pretty much must-watch hockey. I mean, there's so many reasons to watch so many different teams, but Dallas is one of those teams that you're going to consistently get some goals, you're going to see some star power, you're going to see some solid goaltending, and it's a team that could very well go far. Look, they made it far in the last few playoffs. Who's to say they won't do it again? That'll do it for this episode. Hey, if you want the Dallas Stars to succeed this year, leave a like on the video. Thank you for tuning in every single day. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Mark Pye. We'll catch you in the next one.